Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk said he's trying to prod Jeff Bezos into putting more of his time into aerospace firm Blue Origin so he can make more progress. But from what is emerging from the corridors of Silicon Valley, Musk may as well carry out the changes at Blue Origin by himself. Care to know how? Then hear this. Musk was named the Financial Times Person of the Year for 2021, 2 days after Time magazine crowned the billionaire as its Person of the Year for his commitment to the environment and space exploration. Among an array of topics, Musk spoke to the news outlet about fellow billionaire and space enthusiast rival Jeff Bezos. In some ways, I'm trying to goad him into spending more time at Blue Origin so they make more progress, Musk said in an interview with the Financial Times. As a friend of mine says, he should spend more time at Blue Origin and less time in the hot tub. Musk told the Financial Times that Bezos has a reasonably good engineering aptitude, but added that the former Amazon CEO doesn't seem to want to use his mental energy getting into the details of engineering. And probably that's the reason the Tesla CEO feels it could be best if he managed Blue Origin. The devil is in the details, Musk told the Financial Times. Bezos does take himself a bit too seriously, he told the publication. Bezos used to spend just one afternoon a week working on Blue Origin, but he stepped it up to 2 afternoons a week in September of 2021. Meanwhile, Musk said at the Wall Street Journal's CEO Council Summit in December that he tries to split his time evenly between Tesla and SpaceX, but it depends on the kind of crisis of the moment. The CEO tweeted in 2018 that people need to work between 80 to more than 100 hours per week to change the world. Musk has previously said he has worked up to 120 hours a week. Bezos founded Blue Origin in 2000. 2 years later, tech entrepreneur Elon Musk founded SpaceX. In those 2 decades, the gap between the two has widened. SpaceX has launched 130 missions, most of which went to orbit, while Blue Origin has launched 15 test missions to suborbital space. The two billionaires are locked in a race to send humans to space, with Musk's SpaceX far in front of Bezos' Blue Origin venture. But the two differ on what to do when humanity arrives in space. Musk wants to establish a self-sustaining city on Mars, while Bezos would rather see humans orbiting Earth in giant space stations. So getting them to the same side would be immensely beneficial to the entire world. For Musk, the goal is to transform humanity into a multiplanetary species. He wants to use the Starship, a fully reusable rocket currently under development at the company's Texas facility, as a springboard, while an existing rocket like the Falcon 9 can carry 4 people into space using the Crew Dragon capsule. The Starship is designed to carry 100 at a time. Beyond ferrying a lot of people, SpaceX intends to use it for trips to Mars. The ship uses liquid oxygen and methane as fuel. That means astronauts could go to Mars, refuel utilizing the planet's resources, and either return home or venture out further. Musk plans to use the ship to build a million-strong self-sustaining city on Mars. Last year, he declared that the city would help humanity explore the stars. Having humans on 2 planets means if something happens to one world, the other can continue to explore the stars. Earth is 4.5 billion years old, but life is still not multiplanetary, and it is extremely uncertain how much time is left to become so, Musk wrote on Twitter. Bezos has a different vision in mind. In May 2019, he explained how humanity could live in orbiting space colonies, similar to those envisioned by physicist Gerard K. O'Neill. The physicists claim that these would be better than planetary surfaces because they enable real-time communication with Earth and it's easier to return home. Why expand into space? Because human energy use effectively doubles every 25 years. In around 200 years, humanity would need to cover the Earth in solar panels to meet its needs, Bezos claimed at the time. Expanding into space would enable humanity to continue growing, potentially to a population of 1 trillion humans. It could support, Bezos said, 1,000 Mozarts or 1,000 Einsteins. So, why would SpaceX want to acquire Blue Origin? What are their differences, similarities, missions, goals, and endgames? Let's find out. NASA's reliance on SpaceX to make its space exploration ambitions a reality got a little greater the past year, almost $3 billion greater. On April the 17th, SpaceX won a $2.89 billion contract for exclusive rights to provide a moon lander for NASA to use in its flagship mission of the decade. The lander is the third crucial component of the Artemis missions, the name given to NASA's revived lunar explorations, which ended half a century ago with the Apollo missions. As part of Artemis, NASA's Space Launch System rocket will bring astronauts to the moon's orbit, tucked safely inside an Orion crew module. The astronauts will then transfer to SpaceX's Starship spacecraft, still in prototype, in order to make the descent to the surface, and after their science is done, use it to ascend back to the Orion module and fly home. Aside from the sheer size of the sum of cash, this contract is a huge deal. Initially, SpaceX wasn't supposed to build the lander alone. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin had convened a national team with a host of aerospace veteran companies, including Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Draper, to develop a lander called Blue Moon. Defense contractor Dynetics had also been initially working on a prototype. NASA gave all three companies preliminary contracts to build a design and then planned to accept 2 bids for the mission itself. But Blue Origins and Dynetics didn't make the cut, with Musk emerging victorious. In the past, NASA has chosen multiple companies to work separately on the same project to encourage competition and ensure it has a backup plan. But SpaceX's proposal was the only one NASA could afford, according to documents obtained by the Washington Post, a publication owned by Bezos. With only so much money to play with, NASA has placed their bet on Elon Musk's company delivering the goods. So what does this mean for Blue Origin? The fate of Bezos' Blue Moon lander is now in jeopardy, as it was being specifically developed for the Artemis mission. This is not the case for Starship. That craft is an ongoing project for SpaceX and ultimately designed to take humans to Mars, whether they be NASA astronauts or not. And now it only makes sense if Bezos and Musk put their egos apart and work together as SpaceX and Blue Origin, or as one entity. Blue Origin faces setbacks elsewhere as well. The first launch of its heavy-lift rocket called New Glenn has been delayed from late 2021 into late 2022. It also lost a 5-year contract to transport national security equipment into space for the Department of Defense in August 2020. The DoD instead selected SpaceX and the United Launch Alliance, which is a joint rocket venture from Lockheed Martin and Boeing. Even Amazon, another Bezos company, isn't relying on Blue Origin to launch its Project Kuiper internet satellites. Amazon awarded a contract to ULA in mid-2021 to put the satellites in orbit during 9 launches and an undisclosed timeframe. And so, as Blue Origin faces continual setbacks, the future only looks brighter for SpaceX. It's the only private company that has actually brought astronauts to the ISS, and if it continues on the current trajectory, it might get us back on the moon too. Bezos working together with Musk seems like the only logical way out. SpaceX's strong competitive advantage over Blue Origin arises from its wealth of flight-proven hardware, including its Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets and Dragon spacecraft. It is developing a Starship rocket that promises to revolutionize space travel. Blue Origin has a suborbital rocket called New Shepard, which is about to be operational, and an orbital rocket called New Glenn in development. The news that Blue Origin's New Shepard would, at long last, fly with passengers was all but drowned out by all the media coverage of Elon Musk and his various doings. Musk is winning. Bezos, by the way, should postpone his plans to buy the mother of all yachts, a vessel so large that it takes a smaller yacht just to support it. The $500 million he is spending on the ship would be better spent building Blue Origin into a proper entrepreneurial space company. As cool as Musk is, he would benefit from the competition, or better yet, as part owner. Whether this acquisition sees the light of day or not, one thing is for sure, Musk beat Bezos to this space battle, and it's just the beginning. In our upcoming videos, we will closely follow up on how the duel is taking shape, either having both billionaires on opposing sides or, least expected, on the same side. This is not something you want to miss, so be sure to subscribe to remain on top of the news.